if you water shallow all the time and just wet this bit of topsoil, that water will just evaporate off the next day. If you leave the water on for too long, you'll push it past the roots. So what we're doing here is we're trying to work out a way of when to turn the water off. And this is what this device here is for. Now this is a funnel that you bury below the ground, and it's got this tube that sticks up. And I'm going to illustrate to you how it works. I'm going to repeat the same experiment we just did with the green water. 20 litres in the tank. I'll turn the dripper on and we'll see what happens. Okay, here comes the water. Once again, just takes a very small amount of water to get the wetting front down to 10. Now it's on the way to 20 centimetres down, that is. Now this cut-out bit of cloth is representing a funnel buried in the soil. So if you can imagine this thing buried in the soil, well, I've just represented it by cutting that exact same shape in the cloth. And what you can see now is that the infiltrating water is moving down the soil, but it's actually getting caught or trapped by the funnel. And because the cross-sectional area is narrowing, all the water that enters through there is now racing down to the tip of the funnel. And what you'll see is drops of water coming off the bottom. Can you see them dropping off here? And I'm catching them below. And what this has told us now, in fact, is how deep the water has got. If I could actually record the exact moment when the water drops off that tip, then I could turn the water off and make sure that the rest of the water doesn't go too deep and that I don't push these nutrients below the root zone. So I can illustrate exactly the same thing here. I can drip water into here, and what's happening is this is now filled with a filter material, a filter sand, and the water will slowly percolate down through here, and it takes a couple of minutes. But what we'll see is that in this instrument, we use the collected water to operate a float. And the float will, once it's picked up enough water, it will give us a signal at the soil surface. Okay, what we're seeing is that as the drops of water are produced by the funnel, you can see that this red indicator is just starting to move, and that's because there's floats inside here that are actually floating on the water we've collected, and as each drop arrives, the indicator rises, and that indicator is simply telling me that, okay, you've got water down that deep, what are you going to do about it? So eventually it collects enough water, and then a magnet pulls it the rest of the way up, and it locks up in that position.